There's a certain kind of pain that doesn't come from physical wounds. It comes from not knowing where you're headed, from feeling like you've lost your purpose, your direction, yourself. Do any of these moments feel familiar to you? You lie awake past 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling wondering where did everything go wrong or where did I go wrong? Or maybe you find yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, consuming content, trying to find a distraction, an escape from the overwhelming feeling of emptiness inside. Let me ask you a question. What if feeling lost isn't the end of something? What if it's the beginning, so why do we feel lost in the first place? Here are 3 reasons. No. 1, because of change and growth. You feel lost because you've outgrown an old version of yourself, but you haven't stepped into the new one yet. Think about a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It spends its early life crawling along leaves, eating and growing. But then it builds a cocoon around itself and transforms. When it emerges from the cocoon, it finds that it can fly. But before it learned to fly, it was building the skills and strength within the cocoon without knowing it. You're in one of those cocoons right now. Change can be scary, which brings me to reason number 2, comparison. We live in a society that glorifies having it all together. It tells us that we should always know what we want to do with our lives, never fall behind our peers. Seeing other people around you seemingly figure their lives out can make you feel left behind, like you're not on the right path. You might start to compare your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels. And let me tell you something, the highlight reel is not real. So stop comparing your messy, beautiful life to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel. It's not a fair comparison. And finally, reason number 3, burnout. Sometimes feeling lost is your body and mind's way of saying pause, reflect, recenter. You've been running so hard for so long that you've forgotten to ask yourself why. It's not bad to slow down. In fact, it's necessary. Burnout is a sign that something needs to shift, change, or be added to your life, whether that's more balance, better boundaries, different priorities, a new perspective. Feeling stuck sometimes is your soul's way of guiding you to adjust your course. Now that we understand why we feel lost, let's talk about the hidden wisdom in feeling lost. Number 1, being lost means you're searching. If you weren't meant for more, if this is as good as it gets, then why does it feel so painful? Why does it feel like there's a gaping hole inside of you that nothing seems to be able to fill? The fact that you're uncomfortable is proof that you have a destination in mind. Your soul knows that you were made for more, and it won't rest until you find it. Known 2. This is where growth happens. Every major transformation, whether it was the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, every major transformation starts with uncertainty, ends with clarity. There's a quote that says, "You don't need to see the entire staircase, just take the next step." And I think that applies here too. Don't worry about the destination. Focus on the next step in front of you. No. 3. The illusion of certainty. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture the person who seems to have their life completely together. The person who seems to know exactly what they're doing, who appears to have everything figured out. Now, I want you to imagine that person's inner thoughts. You see that person's highlight reel. But what about their messy moments behind closed doors? The truth is, no one actually has it all figured out. The people who seem like they do are just better at embracing the unknown, better at taking risks, better at learning from their mistakes and adapting. But they're still figuring things out, just like you. Don't let the fear of not having it all together keep you from pursuing your dreams. Okay, so how do we navigate this phase of feeling lost? Here are 5 tips to help you through this time. Tip number 1, shift your perspective. Instead of fighting this feeling, lean into it. What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to show you? See if you can find the gift in the struggle. Tip number 2, detach from labels and expectations. Stop trying to fit into a mold. Stop labeling yourself based on what others expect of you. Ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? Really get to know yourself, your values, your passions, your goals, and then start to design your life around that. Tip number 3, focus on small steps. You don't need to know your entire path. Just take the next step. Break down your big goals into smaller, achievable steps. Celebrate those small wins along the way. That's how you build momentum. Tip number 4, find stillness. Feeling lost often means feeling overwhelmed. So find stillness. Go for walks in nature. Journal your thoughts. Meditate. Create space for clarity to emerge. Sometimes the answers you seek are already within you. You just need to create the space to listen. Tip number 5, let go of the need for immediate answers. Some questions in life don't have instant solutions, and that's okay. Give yourself the time and space to explore, to experiment, to make mistakes and learn. The journey is just as important as the destination. I know this message is not what you came for. You probably clicked on this video looking for advice on how to fix feeling lost. But let me leave you with this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are in transition. Feeling lost isn't a failure. It's proof that you're evolving. Here's another thing you need to hear. One day you'll look back at this season of your life and realize that this was the chapter where you found yourself. I know it doesn't feel like it right now. I know the pain of feeling lost is intense, but trust me, this too shall pass. Let me leave you with a final thought as we end this video. Your future self is watching you right now. They're watching you at your lowest moments, at your most vulnerable moments. They're watching you make decisions that will impact your future. They're watching you walk through this season of feeling lost. What would your future self tell you? What message would they send back to you right now? I think they would say, keep going, you're on your way. Thank you for watching. I hope this video brought you some comfort and reminded you that you are not alone in feeling lost sometimes. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone who could use it. And I'll see you in the next video.